All right, UFC 222 recap. What a fucking show, huh?
I will agree with you.
Great show. And lots to talk about.
Pretty decent.
It's going to be a good one, guys. Seriously.
A lot of weird shit.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good one. Thoughts overall on the card, just compared to what you expected before we watched it?
Shit ton of split decisions.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. Some of those I didn't think were split decisions.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
Especially the fighters.
Yeah.
They were more surprised than we were, obviously.
And we're getting this podcast out a little bit late. This was a card we were actually going to watch live in Thailand, Fight Pass. We're going to watch it live at 9 a.m. We're going to have to miss the prelims and catch them later, or just do the podcast on the main card, basically.
Kind of glad we didn't for that Dollaway.
Was a few of
the
nice
Dollaway
prelims.
debacle, if you will.
But the prelims, well, I went to bed around 5. I was staying up a little bit late, so
I was already in bed at 4:40.
Oh yeah, and
So I don't know when you went.
when I set my alarm for 8:45, I was already kind of in that notion that like, I might snooze a little
Yeah, I
bit.
noticed.
And then I got up at I got 8:45, snoozed once, woke up at for sure by 9. I text you 3 times.
Yeah.
You didn't answer, so I assumed you were asleep, and so I went back to sleep.
So at 9:30, I went and got us breakfast.
But why didn't you answer at 9?
6 miles away.
I would have
Because I wasn't up at 9.
I would have toughed it out at
I got
9.
up at
We'd have watched
9:30.
it live and done the. We were going to make this the very first recap immediately following. We were going to watch the show at 9 live, run in the studio, do the recap, post it within like an hour. And it was going to be a record breaking. And now it's like.
Well, there's one every 4 days.
Now it's 11:40 p.m.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started with the recap.
Guest
show.
has to be at work at 9 tomorrow.
So anyway, yeah. So then I woke up at like 12 or something.
Well, I will. Yeah, 12, 1, 2,
But it was
4.
sunny outside.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, in America it's the middle of the night anyway. So it's like, even if we did it right now,
I wish you'd have told
no
me.
one's gonna watch
Do you know how
it.
hard it is not to have social media? Because that's where I work half my shit off of. And not be able to do it because I'm waiting on results.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the results till we watch it, seriously. Or we try not to, at least.
But then I figured we can go to the basketball court, which we have a brand new basketball court, AKA Thailand. So check it out on my Instagram at Mike_Swick or AKA Thailand. Obviously, we actually have on the AKA Thailand Instagram and my Instagram, we have the entire build. So basically what happened was, as I posted today on my Instagram,
This is a recap, by the way.
this guy said that he was telling some guests at the gym that he could beat me at basketball. I could school Swick at basketball, blah, blah, blah. So we built a basketball goal, a full regulation half court, and it looks amazing. Like, I haven't seen a lot of basketball courts outside of like colleges and high schools. I think it's pretty fucking nice. Like, I think we did a pretty good job, dude. It's like 2 full regulation logos everywhere, and they've just finished it yesterday. So, and the sun was out, so I was like, let's just go hit some hoops, school you a little bit. Then we'll come back. We'll watch the fights on Fight Pass. Then we'll do the recap show. And then things, we were out there for 2 hours, and they got tired, and then watched the prelims. Then we watched you did beat me today.
Yeah.
You did beat me back. You beat me in everything. Like, we played horse.
I'll be honest. It's a touch windy because it's on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So that's kind of.
Well, it's below a mountain, but
yeah. Well,
it's nice and cool, but it is a little windy. But sorry, guys, we're getting off track. But we were making up games, like our own games. But bottom line is, if you are planning to come to AKA Thailand, I know we got a lot of viewers and listeners that do come to AKA Thailand at AKA Thailand. They're so excited about this basketball court, and it's pretty awesome, dude. Like, it's really cool to, like, in between training sessions, to go out there and just shoot some hoops.
Come challenge me. I can't fight, but I can hoop.
I'll beat you, though, because I was getting my shots down at the end.
Because I taught you.
But still, I was getting them down.
You.
Yeah, you helped me. You did.
You're going to have to help me fight.
I got a really cool drone shot from, like, way high up of you making a nice three-pointer. It's going to look sick. So you'll probably put that on your Instagram tomorrow.
Do you think we've lost any viewers so far?
No. So anyway, guys, sorry about that. We had a little sidetrack. But, anyway,
we always do. Fuck them.
Whatever. So here's the deal. So UFC 222, I want to start with...
well, I will say I'm glad we missed doing it live, because then we would
we did get the prelims.
That Dollaway...
We watched all of it.
Yeah, the Dollaway Lombard, Hector Lombard fight.
Yeah. So what's your take on that? Because, I mean, let's start from the beginning. I mean, there was no clear, like... I mean, it was a decent... I mean, it was just...
I'd say if you had to have the edge on points, might be Dollaway.
I don't even know. Like, I wasn't... It wasn't one that I was like, oh, wow, this guy's winning. But they were still fighting, blah, blah, blah. Now, I will say that the right hand was loaded and on its way. I don't know what the rules are as far as if the punch is on its way when the bell rings.
At the end of the as the bell rang, Lombard
sir.
1-2 pieced him, as the kids say in the streets that I grew up in.
I think so.
And it did knock him down. And it was after the bell. All right. Now, again, may I?
Well, let's just finish the punch first, and then I know where you're going to go. Because now we talked about it for 20 minutes. And it took us like, this is why it took so long. It took us like 6 hours to watch this UFC because we just couldn't stop talking about shit. Right. Anyway, so he, after the bell, the bell rang. He was loaded with his right hand, threw the punch, and the bell rang. So I think he was already in the air. I don't know how they judge that as far as, I think if you're already throwing the punch, sometimes they give you slack on that. I don't know.
You can't stop it as soon as
But it was late. I mean, it did hit him late. But the left hand, which knocked him down and knocked him silly, 100% was late. I give for sure 1,000,000% was late. So long story short, CB Dollaway went down, wasn't knocked out, wasn't asleep. He went down, stood up, and even knew what happened immediately. They said, stop the fight, the bell, what's going on? Why did he hit me? Like, so he did at that point know what was going on. Doesn't matter. He won the fight. I mean,
now, from my, again.
But let's hear your perspective.
I'm not a fighter.
I know you're about to make some enemies here.
Oh, come on. Well, fuck it. I'm not a fighter or a doctor.
Yeah, right.
You know, closer to being a doctor than a fighter. But the dude wasn't asleep. All right, and I get it. I've never been knocked out. I get it. I fully understand all the hate mail I'm about to get. But when you get up and you walk to your corner perfect, and you're like, hey, man, what happened? He hit me late. He's even saying he hit me late after the bell rang, blah, blah, blah.
He was coherent. He was.
And then he sees all the commotion going on, and he's thinking now it probably hits him in the head. Like, well, you know, I can bullshit my way through this. I mean, why not? Might as well take the win, get the win purse, you know? Shit, I don't know what he gets. Probably a good 65, 70K for that win bonus, whatever, or, you know, win and show, whatever. So he's standing there in the corner, and the doctors come, and the judges, and he starts pulling all the, what happened? What happened? He's holding on to people and stumbling. Now, he had just walked around 45 seconds. Perfect. Now, again, I've never been knocked out, but it's just, you know, and then, of course, you know, they came over and said, look, you know, you're disqualified, Lombard. You know, sorry, buddy. So then they escort Dollaway to a stretcher. A stretcher. All right. Not to spoiler alert, but Edgar ate one hell of a punch and legitimately got knocked out there for a moment. And he was fine. Again, a different for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the deal. Like,
well, hold on. Even when he's on the stretcher, he's like, what happened? What happened? What happened? It's 4 minutes later. Bruce Buffer already said, look, hey, due to 2 punches after the bell, you know, you're a winner. Congrats. It's just, look, you won. You can stop the charades, you know, and I'm sure people are going to hate on me on that, but it's, come on.
That's your opinion. Now, here's the thing. Like, 100% he won the fight. I mean, he legitimately got rocked. He legitimately was hurt, and he was. I've been in a position before. You know, I've been TKO'd where I asked what happened a few times after the fight as well. So I can say that like he might not have known where he was. I sort of did get the feeling that I don't know. I kind of got a little bit of the same feeling as you, but I feel bad saying that because it is what it is. He got hit late. I mean, he won the fight.
He won the fight. No, I'm not taking anything away from him.
Critique him for that. I mean, but the thing about it is like,
but from my perspective, you know,
what I don't get is, and why I think that it might be a little bit more true is the fight was already called, and he was still then continuing to do it, and then getting on the stretcher and like wondering what happened and all that. The what happened part, I understand. I've seen that multiple times in the locker room where fighters are like, "What happened? What happened?" That does continue on. He may have been concussed a little bit, even though he didn't go to sleep, but he already had won the fight. So I don't know. Who knows? But long story short, I mean, it was a late punch, and Lombard messed up, and that put Lombard on like a 5-fight lose streak right now. I think.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah,
I think
not taking anything from Dollaway. Like I said, congrats. I personally thought he was winning the fight already. To begin.
Yeah.
But I don't know. From a.
You're just saying because, not because he just acted that way, but because he seemed coherent at first and then got worse as it went on. Versus like we see guys get knocked out all the time, as you said, Frankie Edgar, where they just pop up and like, yeah, they might be out of it, but they're not like going to like. I mean, he did go through a lot of like.
I mean, I have seen
when they were asking if he was okay. I mean, he was going through a lot of like.
It seemed a little.
And maybe he got hit that hard, but.
I mean, maybe his chin's so hard that he didn't go to sleep. I mean, God bless him. Again, I could be wrong here. I'm just, you know, it's a recap, and I'm recapping my feelings, and it just seemed a little off-putting to me, if you will.
Yeah.
I just, you know, whatever. But.
I mean, at the end of the day, the bottom line is though Hector did hit him late.
Yeah.
And that was ridiculous because like you hear the bell when it rings. If there's one thing you do hear out there aside from your corner, you do hear that bell.
Well, you get the 10 seconds of the wooden.
Yes, 10 seconds, but then you hear that bell. So maybe that right hand, they might have let that slide since it didn't knock him out, obviously, but that left hand, bro. It was like, this was the punch that the bell rang, and this one got loaded and fully extended during.
And then rang his bell, maybe, Mike?
Maybe.
See that?
I can't say that either. Dude, you're going to lose all kinds of fans in this show.
Well,
I know you're just saying what you want to say, and it is what it is. Do your fans' perspective, but either way it goes, CB actually he did okay. Like you said, his game plan was okay, and it seemed like it was going okay. There wasn't a clear-cut like dominant winner, I think, at the time. Now the question is this: let's bring this into it. When we watched the replay, Dollaway said he said stop, and then he hit me. He didn't say the bell. He said stop. He said the ref said stop. When we watched the replay, do you think that the fight would have been a knockout had they had 5 more seconds? That's the question.
That's a good call.
Now, if that doesn't change anything, it doesn't change anything. But I didn't see any movement from Dollaway because we watched the replay a couple times. I didn't see any movement where he put his hands down and was like, okay, I'm going back to my corner, and then just got clocked. He was in the middle of a kick. He was bringing the leg back. His hands were still kind of up. You can never know for sure because when you hear a bell, you do automatically think that it's over. But then again, it's if we want to get conspiracy theorists about it.
Here we go.
You can ask yourself, would he have won with 5 more seconds or not? It's irrelevant. I think, in my opinion, he probably would have landed that combination. It seemed like he was going for that combination regardless if that bell was ringing or not.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. If, like you said, there was 5 seconds left, I don't think Dollaway would have stayed down. Like if that was 4 minutes left in the round.
We could go on this forever.
Yeah, I think
everything would have changed.
Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he did the right thing. Sometimes you got to flop a little. Look at soccer. You think those guys, when they get knocked down, roll around for 11 minutes, get carried off on a stretcher, and then they just jog back in 7 seconds later?
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
And again, you hear that 10-second thing or whatever, so.
You got to know it's almost coming. So,
again, it is what it is.
Nothing away from Dollaway. Congrats on the win, but I just,
and it sucks to win that way,
and I would do it, too. I'm not calling him like a bitch or anything.
You were saying that, too.
I was like, fucking good idea. Yeah. I'd have laid down and cried.
But at the end of the day, no one likes to win like that. That's for sure. So, no one wants to win a fight. You want to win dominantly.
I'm interested to see what Dollaway says tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or Lombard. I hear both.
And speed of recovery to him if he did get concussed. Because, I've seen people get concussed and, not even get put to sleep.
Yeah.
I've been concussed and had to get out of a fight with Martin Kampmann, and that was a title contention fight. And that was my first title contention fight. I was supposed to fight before I ended up fighting Dan Hardy, and I had to pull out because I got concussed by Koscheck nonetheless. Not from a punch, but from a slam. He slammed me so hard into the mat because I was doing some crazy jump knee.
You bring up Koscheck.
And I landed my head on the ground, and dude, I didn't even go to sleep. I continued fighting, continued the round. But then from that point on, the rest of the day, I was constantly throwing up, sick. Went to the hospital, and they said I was 100% concussion. I was right for the fight. So they opted to be on or go on safety side and not let me fight. So if he's concussed, man, hats off. Not hats off, but hopefully he gets a speedy recovery and heals fast and everything's fine.
Like I said, when you bring up Koscheck, he was infamous for pretending to get hit by a knee to win that fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Against Anthony Johnson. So, you do have to play the game when it's, if you can, well, I don't know. Like grabbing the cage. If you get away with it,
like I said, I don't think it mattered. I think either way, they saw that the punch was late.
Yeah.
It was over.
Again, I'm not trying to bag on him.
It's weird, and I don't want to stay on this fight all night. But I know it's weird too. But also Herb Dean, it was interesting because he walked over to one of the officials, and then the camera came over, and he moved over again, and I believe he said something along the lines of, "Do you think it was intentional?" But that's weird because that doesn't matter.
Yeah, what does it matter? Yeah.
How can you? If you throw a punch after the bell, how can you tell if it was intentional? Because you had to have heard the bell. So, you know what I mean? Just because you look like you're still just continuing to fight doesn't mean you didn't hear the bell and you're punching.
I think if there was one punch after the bell, that's accident. 2 punches, come on. I get it. You're in the mode and all that stuff, whatever. But
anyway, that's that fight.
And I think also, just to end it, there's when you have 6 minutes in between rounds of controversy and conversation,
it was over anyway.
It's got to be over.
They can't let it go. Yeah.
So again, Dollaway, congrats on the win, man. However you get it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was that fight. You could have watched that fight twice here in our recap.
Yeah, no shit. Well, we never go off on tangents.
But you don't need to. We literally covered every detail of that fight.
You've got to change this name from Real Quick to something else.
I like it. Anyway,
we just never are.
Cat Zingano and Vieira.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I like Cat Zingano, but I'll be honest. She did not look like herself at all. She looked completely. I don't know. Maybe she was sick. I mean, there's always a chance.
My guess
you're
is
sick.
She overtrained,
or it could be anything. Overtraining, sickness. It could be she didn't fight, didn't she? She hasn't fought in like
since UFC 200.
Did I hear that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say I feel bad if like she didn't. I don't remember, but like I don't remember the last time she fought.
I think that's when it was 200.
And it's 222. That's 22 pay-per-views, not counting fight nights and Foxes and stuff like that.
So that's like 6 months in UFC time.
Yeah, at least like a week and a half, you know. But the point is like, so that's a lot of ring rust too. So I don't know. She didn't look herself, I thought, and I thought that she looked a bit sloppy just for herself. I mean, she's a great fighter. She was ranked number one in the world, and she fought Rousey. So I think she fought not to her best potential, and that was a split decision, and that was a split decision I didn't get. Now Vieira, I don't think she had a performance that like she thought she had. She did what she needed to do to win for sure. She dominated, but I don't think. I think she talking about the title shot and all this and that. I don't think she had the performance that like.
I mean, she beat a great girl in Zingano, but
that she did do.
Not in ridiculous fashion, you know.
Yeah,
so.
But either way, she did. You know, she beat Cat Zingano. She's on her way up. I don't think it was a split decision. So going in you know, Vieira's favor here, I don't think she should have won that via split decision. That was unanimous. I think. I don't see how Cat Zingano won around in there, in my opinion. I may have missed something.
I mean, I think the judges, like I said, there was 4 or 6, something like that.
I looked at the card.
I
looked at the cards. One judge gave her, I want to say rounds 1 and 3. Gave her 2 rounds.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, 1 and 3.
I guess these new rules now are.
But either way, I mean, I hope Cat Zingano bounces back.
She will.
If there was something wrong, I hope there was something. Hope there wasn't nothing wrong, but I hope there's a reason why. You know, she didn't perform as well, and she comes back stronger. She was crying at the end, so obviously, like she was emotional. Something was probably wrong. I think we're gonna find out. It could be anything. You never know, man. She's went through a lot.
I hope the best for her. She's cool.
She's had to deal with
cool
a lot
girl.
in her career.
So.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll get past that one. So Vieira's on her way. You know, she's definitely taking a step up. Gonna fight a better opponent. I don't think she's fighting for the title, but I think she's gonna be right there for sure. Cat Zingano's ranked number 6 or something, I think.
Yeah.
Struve versus Arlovski.
Man, I picked Struve in this one from.
Buddy, I picked Struve in like the first round.
Yeah, me too. Pretty
what
much.
A great fight by Arlovski, and this is coming from an Arlovski fan back in the old days, dude. I watched him before I got UFC.
And an Arlovski fan. Of
no,
course,
I'm a Struve fan too, but I'm like an old school Arlovski fan back before I ever got UFC.
When he had long hair and shit.
When he was, and the fangs, he was fighting like Tim Sylvia, Paul Buenatello, those guys. He was the champion, and like he was just crushing people, dude, with knockouts. And like they said in the broadcast, he had went for like 0 takedowns in like 20-something fights.
He had 24 fights with no takedowns. In the first round, he had 3 takedowns.
Brilliant.
On Struve.
Absolutely brilliant.
What a game plan.
How in the world could Struve have possibly...
He never knew that was coming.
How could he have possibly prepared for a takedown from Arlovski when he's not done it in 20-something fights?
It's like me taking you down right now.
It's crazy. Like literally in the podcast. I would never expect that.
Well, get ready.
Yeah. So I think that was an absolute brilliant game plan. He got him down. And, dude, for Arlovski to come back and beat Struve in his prime, I mean, he's 30 years old. That's a big win for him,
Arlovski's what, 39? Is he older than us? Thank God. Finally.
He's older than us. Yeah, he's older than us. And obviously we've seen Struve beat Stipe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's beat Miocic, who's the champion right now, and he's just getting in his prime. So that's a huge win for Arlovski. So I think now whoever's coaching Arlovski, I mean, his main strategist, I mean, we know he's coaching him, but his main strategist might be onto something.
Yeah,
like mixing it up a little bit, doing a little bit of ground, a little bit of the leg kicks worked.
You know, it's crazy. You don't hear a lot of people leaving Jackson.
No.
And then he went to American Top Team, right?
Yeah.
Florida, whatever.
But I don't know for sure. But, you know, the leg kicks worked well, too. Yeah. I mean, he mixed up with leg kicks. I mean, he's done that before, but I mean, he mixed up really well. And the takedowns, I mean, that was the big difference. He's strong and he uses strength and like.
Just because we saw him in Singapore live,
yep.
and no offense to Arlovski, but he didn't look.
No.
Obviously, Arlovski.
Well, that's why I picked Struve in the first round. Yeah. And Singapore, he looked bad, and I'm thinking I felt bad. So I'm like, man, you were the champ, and like every time you get to that age where you don't get better, but he did exactly that. He went in and he re-strategized. He didn't try to like fight the same way he used to fight and be better at it, because you're only going to get worse as age goes on, right? He changed his strategy, and obviously it worked. Struve definitely didn't count on those takedowns. And Struve was on his back, what, 4 times in the first round?
Just when 3 or 4.
And then another takedown, at least 1 or 2 in the second round or something. So I was like,
Can't count out Arlovski, man, when you think he's done.
So he's back. So
he's kind of like a Mark Hunt type, you know what I mean?
So he's back, and now he's got takedowns. He's probably going to work those a little bit more now that he saw that it works. So we might see an interesting fight.
Dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, different mixture of fights there. So or a different mixture of depending on who he fights.
Hell.
We'll move right along to O'Malley versus.
What a crazy motherfucker, huh?
Pronounce I'm sorry, man. It's Andrei.
He's
right?
from Laos. It's Soukhamthath.
He's from Rhode Island, but
Yeah.
he's originally from Laos, which is cool.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a Laotian fighter in the UFC.
I can't believe you know that word. I'm so impressed.
I'm really hoping it is a word.
I hope you're right.
I don't know if it is, dude. I hope you guys don't come on there and be like Laotian. There's no Laotians, but it's cool to see Laotian. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna act like it's a real word.
That's good.
We've never seen a Laotian in the UFC. That's kind of cool. When he was walking out, he almost looked Thai. So I was thinking like, wow, is this a Thai guy in the UFC? And the name was similar to Thai, not quite, but so I knew it was from Southeast Asia. I just didn't know where. I thought maybe Vietnam or somewhere, but Cambodia, but Laotian. And here's the thing, this fight blows my mind. Of all the fights tonight, this is the fight where I'm just
I'm sure most people are going to think that, man.
Okay, O'Malley had a great fight. First round was amazing. I love the fact that he hurt him. He would go on to regret it, even though he won. Yeah. But he hurt him, but he was looking for a highlight reel knockout. So that shows you the UFC is so competitive right now that you can't win a fight just by winning.
Well, let's say, he won unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't know. There's a recap. We never tell who wins.
We'll get to it. But I'm just saying, the thing is, like, if you just win fights, I mean, he's coming off the Contender show. We should mention that as well. So he's one of these guys.
Great stepping stone.
A lot of these guys are going to the Contender show and getting the UFC and getting these fights, and they're getting. And we watched Snoop Dogg, give a nice little recap on an O'Malley fight, and he was saying, "What do you say? Something like, I'll go in any alley with O'Malley or something."
When Snoop's backing you for some reason, even though he's 48,
yes, it gives you a little clout. Yeah. And so, but the thing about him is he understands that like winning a fight's not enough anymore. And in my day, you win a fight, you're up there. You get a countdown show, you get publicity, you get promoted for your next fight. Nowadays, you win a fight, you're going to be forgotten in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, unless you win spectacularly with a highlight reel knockout or submission. So you can tell he understood that. You can tell he was going for it. So he had him hurt in the first round.
Off some weird shit in the beginning, man. It was
so he was showing off in the beginning, but then he had him hurt, like where he was literally he could have finished the fight, and yet he stayed trying to land that big kick, trying to land that big punch, and he didn't get it. But he tried. So you can tell, you have to give him the credit for trying and trying to get that spectacular finish. Then the round 2 didn't go as good for him. This kid's tough, man. Say his name one more time.
Oh, shit. It's Soukhamthath. Soukhamthath.
I'm going to go with that. I like making
it's Soukhamthath. It's
Soukhamthath. So he...
I'm a doctor and a fighter.
He's tough as shit, man, because he hurt his knee at one point, and you thought he was out or something.
In the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah, but he came back. And he got kicked a bunch of more times and came back. And then he came back. The second round did good. Third round did good too. And here's the crazy thing. O'Malley kicked him, he blocked it with the forearm. It wasn't even an elbow, which I initially thought. It was the forearm, which is weird how this works when you fight. You never know, right? He hit his forearm and probably broke his shin or broke a bone and it definitely hurt himself bad.
Can you name the 2 bones in your leg?
Tibula and fibula. Am I right? I hope I'm right, because that's embarrassing.
It's fibia and tibula.
There you go.
Well, it's not. No, it's still close. I'm still proud.
Good enough, right?
Anyway, one of those are fucked.
Maybe I had just said it wrong.
One of those bones are fucked.
Anyway, so he busted that thing up, and so he couldn't walk, literally. And instead of just getting up, it's almost as if he felt bad for him, because after the fight, he was like all over him, like tapping him and like, in his face, like, man, are you okay? Like he knew he was hurt. He couldn't walk. It was very clear to him and everyone else, O'Malley couldn't walk.
Well, when he stood up and had to hop 11 times.
He couldn't walk. He took him to the ground, and he had at least, a minute left or something?
2? Yeah, at least.
And he could have easily, 100% stood up and just walked back to his corner and it would have been over. Because the ref would never have let him continue. If he got up and couldn't walk, it would have been over. They would have waved it off. And he would have won, and O'Malley would have taken a loss, and it would have went the other way around.
Who brought that to your attention?
You did, and that was very smart. I was very proud of you. I was very proud of you for saying that, because he's beating him up on the ground, and it was kind of close toward the second, third round, so I didn't know for sure. You know, like he could pull off something crazy, but you said, man, just get up, just get up, just get up,
and leave him alone.
And then I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, he can't get up.
I mean, when he did 2 times he stood up and had to bounce. The first time, then he took him down. Okay, I get it. Maybe he didn't see it. The second time, he legitimately had to rest his foot up on the cage to stand up.
He couldn't stand.
That's like, dude, walk away.
Yeah.
Or just leg kick the living shit. He's not going to be able to check it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that to O'Malley, you know, but, you know, I like O'Malley. I mean,
it was a great fight. I'm a huge fan of his no matter what after that fight. But he could have won that fight. Yeah. Who could have won that fight?
Oh, that's Soukhamthath.
Soukhamthath could have.
I have to say it slow first, and then
he could have totally won that fight 100% if he had stood up and just walked away. There's no way he would have continued. And the ref, there's no way a ref is going to allow a fighter to fight who can't walk. And when they were clinching together or whatever, that little bit before he went down, he had no pressure on his left, I think it was left or whatever.
And I was the asshole screaming foot stomps. You know how much I love the foot stomp.
Yeah.
I wish they'd bring that shit back. You foot stomp somebody with a broken foot, it's got to sting. It has to.
I got both of my feet fractured in a fight.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Lieben. He did that shit to me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, true story. I hated him for it.
How come I learned so much shit from you?
Here's the crazy thing about the Chris Lieben fight. When I fought Chris Lieben, WC, we fought, and he rushed me in the beginning because I was going to strike, obviously, and he wanted to clinch me up, rushed me to the cage, and he started stomping my feet. And it didn't hurt. So I'm thinking, like, I was more concerned that, I'll be honest, for whatever reason, things didn't smell so great at that time. I don't know why you think about weird things, but I was more concerned with there's a weird smell going on at part of the ring for some reason. I'm not going to speculate why. But I was more concerned with that, and he was stomping my feet. And I remember thinking, like, this doesn't even hurt, dude. What are you doing? Who cares? Like, and I was going to turn him over and try to get position and maybe get a takedown or push him off and get back to the center of the octagon, and then just all of a sudden out of the blue, like really bad pain, like probably one of the worst pains I've ever felt in the octagon. Usually you don't feel pain as much. It's more like impact and a little bit of pressure, some pain, and then later you feel it. It was crushing pain on both of them. Yeah. So he cracked both of my.
Did you have to lay in bed for?
I continued to fight. I could.
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying from like.
I continued to fight. So
weeks after
it wasn't like it stopped me from moving or whatever like that. But yeah, no. It was like little fractures. It wasn't like I wasn't like immobile. I didn't get a cast or anything.
Like a boxer's fracture in your feet?
Yeah, but I remember there was a place the size of a nickel on my left foot that was numb for like years. I could rub all around it, but I couldn't rub on top of it.
Why would you?
I just liked rubbing it because it was
you
numb.
like rubbing your.
Well, I was pissed off at him for making my foot numb for life. I thought it was for life.
So for
I haven't
years
checked it.
You would.
It might still be. I don't even know. I haven't touched my foot in a while.
I?
No, it's okay. But the point was, so yeah, it does hurt, man. It does, so I'm not a fan of it. So screw you for telling people to fucking foot stomp.
He didn't hear me.
Well, I'm just saying. It's a shitty deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be effective on a guy with one leg.
It is when they fracture. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I got off that fucking fence. That's for sure.
So.
But anyway, so that's my little story.
We never go off topic.
That's good.
Sorry, guys.
Speaking of off topic, real fast. That camera's about to go off, and I'm not going to let that shit happen again. So. All right, so obviously the next fight would be the co-main event featuring Frankie Edgar and Brian Ortega. And
our last podcast guest.
Our very last podcast guest was, no, it didn't.
Our last podcast guest.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't say it right. All right,
Good job, buddy.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
That's awesome.
Well, this is what happens when you keep me awake for 15, 18 hours waiting for you.
Anyway, so, I knew it was going to be an explosive fight. I was wondering if Frankie was going to take him down. Because he said in the podcast he was going to do whatever it took, take him down, stand, whatever he saw. We obviously knew that Ortega's jiu-jitsu was amazing. That was the thing that was the most scary. And he did get his neck for a second in the first round. But the fact that he knocked out Edgar, the only person in 27-something fights or something, that's UFC
More,
fights,
30
I think.
Something, yeah.
So he's probably had, God knows how many fights he's had total. I don't even know for sure. But like he's never been finished ever. And Ortega finished him in the first round via knockout.
And what a story of Ortega before we get into just a little bit. Because I didn't know this till you told me this today, man. I mean, hats off. What a fucking badass, man.
Yeah, he said that he was kind of a street kid, and he had his street buddies, and he ran to this OG kind of guy. And I feel really bad. I don't remember his name.
That's all right.
But he was there when he won the fight or whatever. I'm gonna look up his name and.
Well, these guys have the Google.
I'll mention it in the next podcast because I really want to get Ortega on the podcast next.
Yeah. And that guy and the coach.
Yeah, he basically apparently said something like, I'll train you and I'll help you if you get rid of your friends. And I think Ortega said something along the lines of, I was worried for this guy because my friends heard him say that. And then they respected him. And so he knew this guy had clout. Like, this guy was like an OG kind of thing. And so he was a street guy himself, you know, an old head. So he had that connection, and he appreciated the fact that he was trying to get him off the streets and put him in a situation where he can make money and fight. And that's kind of how he got started in fighting. And then he trained with Renner Gracie, I believe, and he became a ridiculous grappler. I mean, dude, you see his fights with like Cub Swants and some of these other guys, like his chokes, dude, it's like next level shit. Like, it's crazy grappling.
And he didn't even need it this fight.
And he didn't even use it against Frankie. He completely stood with Frankie and used nothing but boxing and knocked him out, bro. So we didn't even see his ground game.
Vicious uppercut. He actually lifted him up off the ground with that uppercut, man. And I hate talking about it because I love Edgar, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to give credit where it's due, man. I mean, I'm sure Edgar's giving. And you know, I'll say what's cool about all the UFC fighters that have tweeted in their thoughts on the fight. They'll say badass Ortega, and then every single one also is like, but keep your chin up. Hats off to you, real warrior. Everything so positive about Edgar.
Yeah,
so
you can't say nothing bad about
I love
Edgar.
seeing stuff like that. So.
You can't say nothing bad about him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he took a risk. He was fighting for the title, and then he fought Ortega, risking, you know, a possible loss and lose his ranking and for not even a title, right? Like, I mean, and he took that risk and he lost. So it was a big risk, dude. But that's who Frankie is, and that's why people love him, man. Yeah. He fights anybody, anywhere.
He'll fight next week if they want him to.
And it just is very unfortunate that, I mean, Yair, he beat or whatever, who's coming up. But it's like, it was unfortunate that he met Ortega because Ortega probably is the next big thing. I mean, how can you argue against it, dude? Frankie's the type of guy that nobody wants to fight. You can't really have a good fight against Frankie. I mean, he's everywhere. He's all over you.
I tell you, my sources tell me that it's going to be Holloway and Ortega probably July.
That'd be the internet, is your sources?
Yeah. Google.com. But no, I mean, that's, and like I said, I appreciate Holloway, what he does, but Ortega, I don't see anybody beating this guy for a while, man. That guy.
I like Holloway too, man. I like his attitude. I think he's always respectful. He's a good dude. I don't know.
Ortega's
I don't know if
scary, man.
I don't know if I see him beating Ortega, man. I mean, if Ortega's going to punch like that and have that kind of power and put
I didn't know he had that power, because I think he only had 2 or 3 finishes in all of his career.
Who?
I mean, TKO finishes, knockout finishes. Yeah. Ortega. And for him to do that to Edgar, one of the best boxers.
And Edgar's taking punches from everyone, and he's never been finished. So for him to put him down like that fast in the first round and not even use his jits, which is like his biggest thing, man. I mean, he's got crazy jits, like next level, like shit that's like, it's unbelievable, man. He's, I mean, we don't even know the extent of how good his jits is, but what we've seen so far is he's just demolished people.
We've got to get our people to call Ortega, get him on the show.
We'll call.
By our people, I mean
us.
You.
Me, I'll call.
Hey, Ortega, this is Mark, Mike's friend. Come on my TV show.
I'll text him. But you can't expect anything less than him being the next big thing, fighting Holloway. And obviously that fight's going to happen. It's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. But, man, I think Ortega might be the next big deal, dude. He might be the next big deal for sure. It's
good to see, man.
And what a good
and
kid.
A good story.
And like we just said, we went over it, and like he was a street kid, and we kind of got off track, but he did decide to give up his friends and give up that life. So it's not like he got pulled out of that life from going to jail or from the police or his family or somebody like making him get out of that life or a death or something where it's like, it was just like, you know, he chose to go out of that life. Like he chose, this is what I want to do. I have a chance to be a fighter, even though he's never really kind of fought on a professional or skilled level. He made that choice to change his life. So like you have to give him respect for that. Yeah. And he
good role model.
Yeah, he made that choice, and he seems so humble and so happy.
He
has to be changed,
star.
right?
He's gonna be such a star, man.
I mean, I love the guy. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of street guys in UFC. I'm not gonna mention names, but we've seen a lot of guys that came from the street, and they don't have any respect or very little respect. And they kind of bring the street into the fighting thing. He left it, man. And he's like, you know what? I'm humble, and like, it is what it is. And he may have had to done what he had to do back in the day, whatever. Who knows what it is? But it's like, he's a new person now, and you can tell that. And he's a happy person, and like, why not? I mean, he's fucking on top.
He's got. I mean, a lot of people probably didn't know who he was before this fight.
No.
You know, they know now. You know,
I think the Cub Swanson fight put him on the map, and a couple others, but definitely this one. I mean,
I think I'm talking about the casual fan.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean,
but he's an example of like what I said as far as the O'Malley fight. Like, you have to win in an extraordinary way. He's only had, I think Ortega's had 5 fights in the UFC or something like that, and he won them all, right? But there's probably a lot of people in the UFC that's won 5 fights, and it doesn't mean you know who they are. Now, he won a few big fights, but he won spectacularly. Like, he won like in
well, perfect example. We talked about him either last week or the week before. James Vick.
Yeah.
Was he 12-1 in the UFC? Something like that. He's fought 12, 11 times, something like that. And Ortega's already closer. I mean, different divisions, I understand it.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah, exactly.
But like you said, you know, I mean,
it's about how you win. It's about how you fight. And like, I wasn't trying to trash Vic or anything, but
yeah, of course.
I mean, if you compare that fight that Vic had against Ortega, buddy, I don't care if he's 26-1. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like there's a night and day difference of how Vic fought and how Ortega fought. Ortega's a scary fucking dude. Yeah. You know, like, that dude is scary. That's a dude that's going to be a star.
He looked like he weighed 170 pounds in there.
Way bigger than Frankie.
Fuck, man.
Way bigger than Frankie, and never took a step backwards. Never took a step backwards, bro.
I could watch that guy fight every day.
He took every combination from Frankie, covered up, maybe some landed, but he never backed up. He was always in his face, always going forward. He had like 1 second to grab his neck. I think Frankie came in for a takedown toward the end or something, and he grabbed his neck and was going to go put him in a guillotine. I thought that was going to be the end. I was like, oh, shit. And like he's just right there. Whatever he gets, he takes. And like that uppercut, man, it was like a combination, I think. And then that.
And I love the humbleness, like kind of like an old school John Jones before he got all whatever he's doing. But
yeah,
like that, I really like that.
Yeah,
because everybody's trying to talk shit like McGregor. Like I know we talk about this all the time, but it's refreshing, if you will, to see shit like that. You know,
I mean, it's diverse, you know, the group, the whole UFC roster, but. I'm a huge Ortega fan, man. I hope we get him on
O'Malley,
show.
man. I think 2 stars.
I like O'Malley too,
yeah.
Dude. How weird was it? Let's go back to O'Malley for just 2 seconds. How crazy was it that? Okay, first of all, he shouldn't have won, not because his talent, but because he couldn't stand, and for 2 minutes he couldn't stand. So it's like, you know, we already said that, but the point was he won the fight, and he got his hand raised from on his back.
I never seen Joe Rogan do an interview on his knees.
They did an interview with O'Malley on the mat. I'd never seen that before. That's pretty crazy,
new
right?
To me. Yeah.
That's crazy. But he's another guy that's like, you can't take it away from him that he won the fight.
Yeah.
Dude, he got lucky as shit that guy held him down. Which guy?
Soukhamthath. I gotta say it slow first. That's a hard name to say.
We gotta build this guy, dude. You gotta build him up.
Soukhamthath.
You know. But
suffering succotash.
He got lucky that Soukhamthath.
That's a Looney Tunes reference, Michael.
I get it, but he got lucky that he held him down. But he was humble too, you know, O'Malley. And he had a great interview, and like I think he's a good star in the sport for sure. Yeah. And I think he's going to be a rising star. I love his style, bro. I mean, he definitely didn't have a good second round compared to the first, but man, I love his style. Great style.
Have we even talked about the main event yet?
Not yet.
Should we?
Maybe.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, here's the thing. We had complaints last time, and the people wanted a longer recap, so we're making a longer recap.
So we're going to put extended in the title?
It ain't that extended, man. We're covering the fights. Dude, a recap is to cover everything, and we're covering everything. You watch this recap.
I do this for a living.
Nobody has.
You don't have to tell me.
Nobody has to watch the fight. They just watch us, and they're like, wow,
so
I know everything that happened.
Or silver foxes, me and you.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, we're getting old, man.
Stop, dude. It's silver fox shit, dude. Arlovski's older than us.
So 6 months.
So the main event. I mean, there's not much to talk about the main event.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
This was pretty much given.
It is what it is. Come on. I mean, okay. So the main event, obviously, Cris Cyborg won. I could have told you that last week. It's not like I had to tell you that right now.
The main event was Ortega, and I think we talked about that already.
Okay, so we had this girl Vieira that trained at AKA Thailand a couple months ago. And she's a good fighter, but a lot of people don't know who she is. I mean, she's an unknown, pretty much, kind of.
Russian.
I mean, she's got a big following, and in Russia she's known, but across the world she's unknown. And she beat this Yana girl the fight before last. Kunitskaya.
Kunitskaya.
That's what I said.
Kunitskaya.
You just don't understand the difference in the.
Oh, I'm from a different dialect of Russian than you're used to?
Yeah, it's my dialect. You didn't understand it.
Did I just teach you the word dialect, by the way?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I totally have never learned that before.
Learned?
I'd never learned.
Welcome back. It's a different dialect.
Yeah, whatever. So whatever. Anyway, the point is, she's coming off that loss, and then she won one fight, and then got thrown in there with Cyborg. Now here's the problem. Hats off to her for fighting, but she the one thing I didn't like was she kind of cowered down, and it's like, I feel like if you're going to find someone to fight Cyborg, find somebody that's a warrior. Find somebody that's going to go out there and fight her like sword, by the sword. You know what I mean? She's going to live by the sword, die by the sword. And Yana like cowered down multiple times where she got hit and then just covered her head and fell down and just grabbed her leg and was like, you know what I mean? Like, and so it makes Cris Cyborg look good, but she's fighting a 135-pounder who's had plenty of losses and is coming off of just a one-fight win streak, and she's a 135-pounder.
Yeah, she beat Evinger, however you say her name, in Invicta. You know,
but I'm just saying she's a 135-pound fighter. But that's what happens when you create a division for a person where there's not a lot of talent. There isn't a lot of talent.
There will be, but there's not
good
right
girls
now.
in the division, but there's not a lot of talent. So you're going to round up people for her to fight. But if you do find someone for her to fight, I think it's a tough job for the matchmaker, but they got to find somebody that's going to fight her and like give her everything. And Yana didn't. And I was hoping the least thing Yana did was just go out on her sword and like just fucking give it all. And she cowered a lot, fell down a lot.
She did take her down. I give her that.
And I get that it's scary looking at Cyborg. I wouldn't fight her. This is like, so Yana was probably terrified the whole time, and like she got thrown into a big fight where she had and they say it's a win-win situation, but it's like not really. Like it's a win-win when you fight a champion and you're not qualified to fight a champion, and worst case scenario you lose. But with Cyborg, like worst case scenario, you could die if you're.
I guess you're thinking more of a Travis Lutter versus Anderson Silva. Travis Lutter had nothing to lose fighting him.
Yeah,
even though he didn't lose enough weight,
and he could have fought him better. He had him on the ground, and then he missed the arm bar.
But yeah, this is between two fighters that shouldn't even be in the same.
Cost me my fight against him.
Yeah, I like bringing that up too.
I get it. But the thing is like, yeah, that's the difference. In this fight, you're talking about a girl that does have something to lose. Brain cells, like memory, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
I got a question for you. So your first fight in the UFC, obviously you know this.
Yeah.
You get $10,000 to win, or $10,000 to show, $10,000 to win, and then $2,500 from Reebok.
I didn't. No,
you didn't. It's the new rules now. I'm telling you now.
I can teach
5
you
and
some
5.
UFC. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this was 2000.
I was on that tough money. You know what I'm saying? I remember
tough to get it.
It was tough to get the money back then.
Well, no, you get $10,000 your first fight in UFC. Now, obviously, they probably paid her a little more since she's fighting Cyborg and the main event.
I'm sure she did. Yeah.
But the beauty is I'm 90% sure on this is you get $2,500 from Reebok no matter what.
Right.
But you get $30,000.
You fight for a championship.
If you're fighting, yeah, and if you're so.
No, is it if you're a champion or you're fighting for a championship?
40 if you're the champion.
Okay.
30 if you do.
So she made out okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious to know if she got $10,000 just to fight. I mean, $10,000.
No. She made more, and she got pay-per-view buy points for sure.
Do you think so?
But I don't know how many this is going to get. It just depends. You never know in a card like this.
I mean, what was she, a 1,600 underdog or whatever it was?
It was 1,650. She's minus 1,650. So yeah.
You would have to put a Corvette payment for, or probably more than that.
A Corvette payment.
Yeah, Z06, $1,600 a month, whatever, to make $100 in Vegas.
That's like that's a really nice Mercedes.
That's why I said Corvette.
Corvettes suck, dude. You can get a Corvette for
I agree. I'm a Mustang.
$800 a month, $700 a month. I think. I haven't.
You know nothing about cars.
Wow.
How many engines does a Corvette have?
Well, I assume it has one.
You would assume that, huh?
Yeah. I'm not like a mechanic or a fucking car guy. I did sell them at one point, but not Corvettes.
Yeah, I believe
I sold cars with one engine. So I.
Do we need to go back? Did we? I can't remember if we told the when you were a mechanic for Fabio.
For Fabio.
Fabio asked you to help him with his truck, and you had no fucking clue.
Okay, first of all,
I think did we tell that story?
No, we did, but not here.
I feel like I lose track of when it's podcast or when it's.
Anyway, so yeah, I met Fabio.
I think we told that story already.
We didn't. We never told him the podcast. But I do have beautiful hair. He had beautiful hair for sure.
What the fuck?
He did though. He really did.
Who cares?
He looked just. If you look at my Instagram from like way a long time ago, we have that picture. So I went into like a. I went into like a gas station on the way to LA. I was outside of LA.
So he wasn't just pulled up shirtless on a horse.
No, he wasn't.
He was in a truck.
He was in a tight shirt.
What?
Flowing hair.
Well, your descriptive words on him are bothering me,
It's
man.
Fabio, bro, and it looked like Fabio.
Who fucking cares?
So he's in a truck. I pull in, and he's got this like big truck, and he's got like I don't know, like 2 or 3 ATVs in the back. He was clearly having fun for the day somewhere. I was like ATVs or whatever, but he had the hood up, and he was walking away. He was walking in. It sounds like a porn movie, the beginning, right?
Oh, Michael.
So then,
hold my hair.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his truck. And then next thing you know, I'm looking at Fabio walking towards me. The wind's blowing opposite, too, so his hair's blowing back. I shit you not. I can't make this up. He's walking towards me, and the hair's blowing back. Hey, man, I know it sounds like a porn, but so then he walks up to me, and he's like, I'm not even going to try to do his accent, dude. I'm embarrassed myself. But he asked me if
I can't believe my truck's not better.
Yeah, that's
like
what pretty much
that was
what he
kind of
said.
forced, but you get what I'm doing there.
I get it. So he asked me if I could help him with his truck, and you know me, dude.
Yeah.
My mechanic skills are like, yeah.
But
of course I said yeah. So I was it's Fabio. I'm gonna talk to the guy for a few minutes, see why the hell he's at a gas station and broke down, and you know. So he's like, can you help me with my truck? And you know, I'm thinking like it's Fabio. He's on the cover of like books. It's probably like he needs water in his fucking thing or
water in his thing.
What do you need water in?
Just a radiator.
I'm thinking it's like oil or something. Like it's nothing big. It's Fabio. He doesn't know shit about cars.
Windshield wiper.
Yeah, something like minor, you know.
Wow.
So I go to his car and I'm looking in there like I know what I'm doing. I'm like, well, yeah, let's check this, you know, let's check this. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
Just so you could hang out with your childhood hero.
I figured I could help maybe, you know, like maybe I could see something was low, like some kind of like one of the liquid things. It was like low on the.
Wow.
Yeah. So nothing, I couldn't tell. So I was like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I'm like, I don't know a bunch about like cars and stuff. I'm like, it looks like everything looks normal, but I guess it's not because you're not driving. And so I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Nothing I can do. We can go in there and try to find somebody.
Did you get an autograph?
No. He shook my hand. I was like, oh, thank you.
Be honest with me.
Thank you. So then I went inside.
Was his hair blowing?
Huh?
Was his hair blowing in the wind?
Yeah. When he first walked up. And then I went inside and I was getting chips and some snacks and stuff.
And protein and.
Yeah, protein, dumbbells. Yeah. And I was thinking like, damn, I can't believe Fabio just asked me to help him fix his truck. That's random. You know, it's just a weird thing to happen at a gas station at a random location. And then he came in and he was doing something inside and I passed him again and I was with
I can't stop laughing, dude.
I was with a bigger Fabio fan than myself. And so they got a picture. And so then I was like, hey man, can I take a picture with you too? I mean, I wasn't like trying to like be a fanboy, but yeah, I took a picture with him. And it was me and Fabio on the gas station in the chip aisle.
I don't even know where to go the rest of this podcast after that story.
Man, you know what? It's a weird story. You started it, and it's your fault, man. So I'm sorry.
I don't know. You'd be all blushing and sweating now. Look at you.
I'm not
Heart's
sweating,
beating.
Dude. It's not beating, dude. I apologize to our viewers and our listeners, man. They had to listen to the Fabio story. But hey, dude, it's part of my life, man. I ran into Fabio and didn't help him worth the shit. It's just so if you're watching Fabio, which I'm sure,
dude,
I'm sure he's watching.
What would you do if I could get Fabio on the podcast?
I'm sorry I couldn't help you with your truck, buddy, and I hope it worked out for you. I hope you made it wherever the hell you were going. I don't know.
God, okay. Well, a big congratulations to Mike Pyle. He retired. This was his last fight.
Yeah, you know, well, not congratulations. He lost his fight.
Well, but congratulations for his career.
But his career. I mean, the guy's done it all, man. And like I was going to tell you a fun story about this too. So after Ultimate Fighter, I trained with Randy Couture at another gym in Las Vegas, and Mike Pyle came in. And back in those days, the early days, right, like if you never heard of a guy's name, like who a guy was, like you didn't care about grappling with them. You know, we felt like we're better or we could handle anybody. You know what I mean? Like at that stage, it's cocky to say, I get it. I mean, but that's our mindset, right? If I met somebody and I didn't know their name, they're an MMA fighter, and I didn't like recognize them as being a big, you know, MMA fighter or whatever, I'll roll with them. And I felt like, no problem, I'll handle this guy easy or at least go good with him, you know? And I remember he was so strong. He was so good on the ground. And I was just like, fuck. And I was going to the Ultimate Fighter. It was during the Ultimate Fighter or right before we started taping or right after. I can't remember, but I remember thinking like, damn, this guy's really good. Like, holy shit. And it was Mike Pyle, you know. And I asked Randy, and he's like, yeah, it's Mike Pyle, and he's really good. He's had a lot of fights and all that. And that was the first time I ever kind of met him and rolled with him. And I was just like, wow, this dude's legit. And then he's had an amazing career. So definitely big congratulations to congrats for the fight, but congrats for his
exactly.
career. And like, you know, I'm hope he's moving on to something good and better. And, you know, hopefully it works out good for him. So
It will.
We'll end it on a good note as far as him retiring.
Well, I forgot to tell you that
moving on to something good.
My sources again.
Oh, the internet.
My sources told me that Dana White, a friend of ours, yours, the show, it's going to be Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg next. Just so you know.
Can I go ahead and say this? I was kind of like, I walked away from the TV, and Joe Rogan walked up to Cris Cyborg, and he said, who do you want to fight next? Who's ready for you? And I thought she said a man, because she's Amanda.
Yeah.
So I thought she was like full board ready to fight anybody.
I think she'd fight a man.
Yeah. I thought she was full board ready to fight. I mean, obviously it was
for a while there, I thought the same about Rousey.
I'm not going to say I like 100% believe that. I mean, obviously Amanda Nunes is right there, but it sounded like that. And coming from her, when you hear that, even if you know it's Amanda Nunes, you're like, I mean, she could literally fight a man, and it'd be a good fight. Like, she could beat half the roster probably. I mean, considering size difference, you know what I mean? At least
powerful woman
of the UFC. I mean, she's a beast, dude. She really, really is a beast. And like, I hope Amanda Nunes fights her, because I think she'll put up a good fight, and I want to see someone put up a good fight. I think Holly Holm doing as good as she did as far as taking her to the later rounds may have kind of opened up some things for people to study. Yana wasn't going to be the one. And we watched a countdown show, and when you're looking at Holly Holm teaching Yana BJJ, I mean, come on. What do you expect the fight to be?
It's gonna be a long time before somebody.
I wouldn't have shown that in the countdown show if it was me. I wouldn't show like Holly Holm teaching Yana how to fight. I mean, it's one thing to give her advice, but she was teaching her moves and stuff. And it's like, if the girl who's teaching you moves got beat by the girl you're fighting, things aren't going to work out.
She's a relative unknown. I think they had to use Holly to kind of show where she's at, what she's doing, and have Holly in there for the star power.
I think they could have done it in a way that was more like just advice, not like teaching her the actual moves. But
oddly enough, she took her down twice. Whether one was accidental or not, I mean,
yeah, she did. And she held her against the cage very well. Yeah. And she was winning the first, I think, 2 minutes of the fight.
I think she just got really scared when she started getting
2.5.
So,
yeah, she did. She did.
And I would too. No, not dogging, but
So anyway, long story short, man, I hope Amanda Nunes gets this fight and puts up a good fight, and we see like a competitive match, because like nobody wants to see somebody that's just so much better than everybody else have an easy career. You know what I mean? Like there's nowhere else in the UFC where people are getting easy careers. You know what I mean? Like easy fights all the time. And so not saying Holly Holm was an easy fight, but there's no one that's like on her level. So it's
Demetrius Johnson. There's the other one.
Okay.
I mean, that whole
hate Mel to Mark Bogutski
division.
You hate Demetrius Johnson.
I don't hate him. I just hate the little guys that fight. It's like, well,
that didn't help you any.
Well, okay, then I think Cyborg should be pound for pound best fighter in the world. Nobody can beat her. I mean, she goes up, she moves down weight, up weight, wherever she wants to go, she'll beat him. Not John Dotson, the other, Mighty Mouse. He stayed in one little tiny 115 or whatever they fight over there. I just wish he would fight TJ Dillashaw or something. If you want to be pound for pound, then fight other pounds. I don't know where I'm going. You know what I'm fucking saying.
I do. They probably don't.
Well, they get it.
They'll comment about it, though. But anyway, guys, please subscribe and give us comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought about the card, about our breakdown. You wanted a longer recap, and we gave it to you.
We did go a little off topic.
Not really. We just expanded the topics.
We talked about Fabio.
That's your fault. Don't bring Fabio into this.
Oh, well, see there. God, you're so defensive about Fabio.
Don't talk about Fabio like that.
Would you rather hang out with Fabio for a week or The Rock for 1 hour?
The Rock for an hour.
Would you rather marry Fabio or kiss The Rock?
I don't want to do either one of those.
Okay.
I'd kiss The Rock, but I wouldn't want to do either one. I like The Rock, though.
We could have a whole other podcast. Dude.
Dwayne Johnson's my dude. I look up to him a lot. So
you better hope Fabio stopped watching.
I don't look up to Fabio. It's just fucking Fabio at a gas station. What the fuck? What do you want from me, dude? Like I was surprised by that. It's weird.
I'm proud of you. Glad you got to meet him.
I'm happy you're proud about that, and you ruined our podcast with it.
Yeah, we didn't ruin it.
All right, guys. So you got the complete everything this time. We I don't think there's nothing we left.
Dear Diary. We pretty much set our whole day today to these guys.
Yeah,
so
we literally did. So anyway, guys, please subscribe. Please follow us. Our podcasts are way better than this. We get off topic on here.
And it's almost 1 a.m. now, so.
Yeah, recaps aren't our best thing in the whole world, but we try, and we give our input. Follow us. 50,000 subscribers. Mark's going to fight a Muay Thai fight in Thailand. First fight ever. So give us those subscriptions, guys. Come on. Click that subscribe. At the end of this video, there's going to be a little white button. So it has our logo. Click it. That's what you got to do.
Is it white?
Yep.
100% sure?
1,000,000% sure.
I should subscribe then.
Yeah, that'd be great. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And also, we will be doing a episode number 20 podcast, and that will be tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. And so we'll upload that in the next probably couple days, and that's going to be a nice recap of our 20 episodes that we've had so far.
Kind of like a manager's choice. Do you remember school on Tuesdays?
I don't.
The lunch was manager's choice. You didn't know what it was on the menu.
Everything in our school was the same. It was the same ingredients, just they formed it different ways, like tacos, burritos.
Did you mention tacos? Shout out to the fan that sent me these socks. Those are tacos. What a segue into it, buddy. Nice.
Did you do that to segue into your fucking socks?
No, but well done.
Oh my God, dude! I don't know what to say. How did I get drug into that?
I don't know. I can't believe you did it. I forgot I was wearing them until you said tacos.
With tacos on them. What the fuck happened to you, man?
Thank you.
Anyway, what was I even saying? Anyway, the podcast is going to be really good. We're going to look back at our past guests, Make You Work, DC.
Little Where Are They Now
so
show,
many, man. I mean, like so many good guests.
It's been 6 months since we started. Where are they now?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a good one, guys. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Thanks for viewing. Leave comments, and we will respond to as many comments as you leave, and we greatly appreciate them. Thanks.
Coco and Angel, thanks for the socks. It's actually Max Hernandez that sent the socks. No?
Real quick.